I think at this point, most people are aware of NFTs, at least that they exist, and if you haven't been keeping up with the latest gaming news, what I'm about to tell you may come as a shock. That's sarcasm, this won't shock you at all. Big corporate gaming companies are trying to get a cut of the NFT goldmine. Ubisoft and Square Enix, two of the big boys, have come out in strong favor of bringing NFTs into their games, with Ubisoft already making small strides forward with Quartz, their NFT gaming platform. It hasn't done so well. But keep in mind, they aren't the first to try and bring NFTs or cryptocurrencies into gaming. There's been a new trend of trying to build games around a new type of model, play to earn. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to A Casual Analysis, a series where we analyze and discuss gaming trends old and new. In this video, I thought it would be fun to talk about play-to-earn games and how the current hype of NFTs and cryptocurrencies is going to affect the gaming market. And before we begin, I want to clearly state up front what this video is going to be. This is going to be a video discussing how the design of NFT or play-to-earn games may be harmful to the state of gaming as a whole. This topic is mostly subjective, but this video will discuss what play-to-earn gaming is and how it affects the design and development of games. I can't stress enough, this is a game design discussion, and most of it is speculative as to what may or may not happen if Square and Ubisoft lead the charge and gaming as a whole turns into one large NFT earning operation. This is not going to be a video about NFTs and if they are a scam or not. I don't know enough about the crypto and NFT marketplace to give other people investment advice. I'm a gamer, not a stockbroker. Arm yourself with knowledge before investing, and let's talk about video games. So what is play to earn? Play to earn is actually an interesting concept because it's a model of game design that predicates itself on a human's psychological drive to make money. It's every gamer's fantasy. Basically, play to earn is the idea that a gamer will play a game in order to make real-world money through in-game transactions. Gambling is actually very loosely based on this concept. The simplest example is slot machines. You play a slot machine in order to try and win more than you can spend. In blackjack, you play in order to beat the dealer, and if you do, you're rewarded with real money. Translating this over to video games is very simple. Play-to-earn games allow the player to purchase or to earn items within the game that map to a token. That token can then be considered owned by that player. The token or item has a value to it, and that's now technically the player's asset. Play-to-earn games will usually have some sort of in-game use for this item that will either allow you to access something in the game or sell the items to other players so that they can use it. That transfer of ownership is what generates revenue for the player. In this model, the player is rewarded for spending the time to earn that item. The game rewards them whenever they complete a certain task, and the player is incentivized to keep playing to earn that reward multiple times. The more times they can earn that reward, the more digital wealth they will accumulate. Now you may be thinking, wait, so I can play a video game and earn rewards that then translate to real money? I play games 20 hours a day. I'm gonna be rich. And you know, for the most part, you are right, but it's never that easy. The controversy that comes with most NFT or play-to-earn games is a phrase that will always be true no matter what you're doing. The house always wins. You usually hear this phrase when you talk about gambling, right? You may play blackjack and be really good at it, but the casino you are playing at will always make more money than you, and most of the time, they will make it because of you. This is no different than an NFT or play-to-earn gaming. Whoever made the game owns the platform in which you are making your money. You are essentially working within the design that they made for you. That means that they make the rules. They set the boundaries of which you can make your money. And unfortunately for you, the person who made the game is usually in it for monetary gain themselves. And how do they make their money? Off of players like you. Back to the casino. Play-to-earn gaming is a lot like a slot machine. You are playing a game that is designed by the developer to make you spend money. Yes, some people will make that money back and more, but the majority of the time, players will lose. The game is designed that way. In play-to-earn, your real-world wealth gain comes from amassing some sort of digital asset and then selling those assets to other players who find value in it. And that's where the controversy lies. The developer will usually make money off of each transaction, so if you were to have a digital token that was worth $1, the player you sold it to would spend $1 to buy it. The game company would then take a very small percentage of it, let's say 5% or 5 cents, and you would receive 95 cents back. This model has two consequences that affect your ability to make money. First, you spent a whole dollar's worth of time in the game to earn that digital token and only received a fraction of the worth. The developer has a static 5% and didn't do any of the work, so they don't really care if you receive the value you expected back. They will get their money either way. So this hurts you in that you are basically paying a fee to sell your owned asset on their platform. This isn't too different than what other sales platforms do today, but keep in mind, the item that you are selling is the item that you earned from them, which may or may not hold its value. If you were to hold on to your token for a couple days, and all of a sudden the dev team put out some cool new NFT, your token's value will now plummet, and the value of your work would mean nothing. nothing. You may not be able to get back any money for the time you spent. And I can't stress enough, the developer isn't impacted at all. You already did the work, which usually means that the developer got some money from you in advertising or maybe through the purchase of tools that you use to get the item. They may not receive a cut of the transaction, but rest assured, they made their money. The second consequence is for the buyer of your digital token. The buyer has purchased your token because they find some sort of value in it. If they plan to take that token and sell it again, they're making a huge investment and hoping that your digital token's worth is going to go up before they sell it, ending in profit for them. If the value of that token goes down, then they spent more money than they will earn, ending in a loss. But let's say that the buyer purchases your digital token and uses it for in-game application. Because remember, this is still a game we're talking about. The buyer uses that item, and the item is either spent, let's say for example as a ticket to sign up for a battle arena, or it's given to another player, let's say as losing a bet for another player beating you in that battle arena. In this case, the buyer has lost the ownership to that token as it's transferred to someone else. If they win the battle, they keep amassing wealth until they lose. Though winning enough to make a lot of money will take a long time, potentially a lot of skill, and it requires you to play on the terms provided by the house, which is always looking to take your money. It may not be outwardly predatory, but the odds are always stacked against you. In short, the way you can earn and lose money in play-to-earn games is a lot more complicated than just playing X amount of hours and earning X amount of money. But you know who it's not complicated for? The developer. All they have to do is create a platform that promises big bucks for playing, and the players do the rest. The developers will get their money either way, and most of the time they will create the game in their favor, so that no matter how many people fail in making money on their platform, they will still maximize their profit. So yes, game developers need to maximize profits, and people who play to earn will need to be smart or lucky in order to actually play and earn, but that isn't news. What's the big deal? If you were like me, which I'm hoping there are still some of you out there, then you play video games for fun. The big issue that I have with play to earn is not that it exists, but I worry that it will start to affect other game design models. The reason that Square Enix and Ubisoft embracing NFT gaming is such a big deal is because of the consequences of what adopting this model into their games would do. There is no denying that game developers have always and will continue to build games for profit. There are not many things done in life that are completely out of charity. A game developer is a job, so they need to make money, and money is what drives game design models. For example, a common form of monetization for a game to have is a set price, a one-time payment for a certain amount of content. If you want more content, you pay more money with DLC that is available for an additional cost as well. This is how Square Enix models most of their Final Fantasy games and Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed. It usually equates that X amount of money is worth X amount of content, with some variables being thrown in depending on quality and the brand name. That's why you see some indie games with loads of great content priced so low, versus AAA studios putting out $60 games with nothing but time wasting to pad out their quota for 40 hours of playtime. One-time payment games will usually be designed to fill a certain amount of hours, and they are all designed to eventually get you to pay more. And this can be mixed with other forms of monetization in the game, like microtransactions, which have heavily impacted Call of Duty's design in the form of loot boxes. Microtransactions are most common in free-to-play and mobile games, a popular example being Clash of Clans. Because the only way for the game to make money is by driving its players to buy things from the cash shop, Clash of Clans was designed to have unnecessary and problematic game mechanics that would be solved by purchasing an item for real money. In Clash of Clans, you build up your base in order to defend against invaders and build an army to invade other players, but everything you do has a wait time for it. The timer starts small, like 30 seconds, but eventually gets to be days long. Take one guess as to how you can speed up that timer and keep playing. The game didn't have to feature those mechanics. It was specifically designed so that devs could make big money based on a human's psychological desire to spend to get immediate satisfaction. So let's bring the conversation back to play to earn. Play to earn incentivizes the devs to build a game that makes them the most money, just like any other game design model. The controversial part of this is that play to earn games don't require the player to be having fun in order for them to make money, so the focus of the game is much different than other monetization practices. Play to earn games are going to be designed to allow the player and dev team to make money, and sometimes that will be at the cost of having fun. The draw of the game is not its gameplay, it's the fact that you can earn money. If one-time payment games don't have an enticing story, good combat, or provide a generally good experience, people won't buy the game or any of its sequels. If games with microtransactions aren't fun to play, they will lose the players who would be making those purchases and have no one to sell those microtransactions to. In both situations, the dev teams are incentivized to make better games, to keep their players happy and spending money. In the play-to-earn model, there is much less incentive to make a better game. People are not playing the game to enjoy the experience. They are playing to make money. So to attract new players, would the devs be focused on making a better game or making a game with better ways to make money? Either they could spend more money and long hours on making a better game that is completely subjective and may or may not actually be successful, or they could build a game that makes it easier for the player to make and spend money, which in turn makes the dev team more money. It's fairly clear which option most dev teams would choose. Now let's say there's a mix of monetization practices in the game, because remember, I don't mind that NFT games exist, I only care that it would affect how other games are being made. Let's take a hypothetical example, keyword hypothetical, with World of Warcraft. In World of Warcraft, you can earn very rare items that can be sold for unbelievable amounts of gold in-game. And I know that if you were to go online and find some shady website, you would probably be able to find a real-world money buyer for whatever that item is. But imagine if this was legalized, in-game, and controlled by Blizzard. How perfectly do you think Blizzard would design the marketplace if they were making a cut of every transaction? And think of how the rest of the game would be treated if Blizzard focused on getting players to the marketplace and selling things rather than having fun. I mean, they already abandoned 90% of the game, but let's just say they do that again. If everything in game had a dollar value assigned to it, player behavior is going to see a major shift based on prices. Your time is going to be quantified in dollars and cents, and your playing of the game any other way will be a huge loss of potential profit. And you can say that not everyone will play the game for money, but people say the same thing about the meta and look at the thriving min-max culture now. Though sure, not everyone will play the game to make money, but there will always be that incentive to play the game a certain way. And if Blizzard only focuses on those features that are making them money, those who are playing just for fun will eventually get bored and leave. Blizzard might raise the prices on XP Boost because players will want them to get the more expensive, better selling items faster. They may introduce the best new items with unbelievably low drop chances that would artificially increase its price. They may only introduce new content that involves play-to-earn features in some way. All of this is speculation, and Blizzard has never stated that they were going to introduce NFTs to their games. But World of Warcraft is an MMORPG, and Square Enix happens to have one of the best performing MMORPGs in the market today, Final Fantasy XIV. So if they happen to introduce NFTs or play-to-earn features into FF14, I wonder what sort of tactics they would introduce to entice players to engage with it. And that's my biggest worry. I worry that Square Enix will take a perfectly balanced game like Final Fantasy XIV and introduce NFTs that make them money. They would anger most of the player base and throw off the community that makes Final Fantasy XIV such a great game to play, all because it makes their board of directors that much richer. What if Ubisoft started building their next Assassin's Creed to be an NFT or play-to-earn game? Or what if other companies started introducing the play-to-earn model in their games? What if Hearthstone gave play-to-earn players a very small amount of magic dust for every tournament win that could be sold on the marketplace to other players or used to make your cards stronger? What if FIFA Ultimate Team let you buy and sell limited set player cards on a marketplace for real-world money, and the value of that card was based on a player economy? What if Ghost Recon had limited edition in-game cosmetics that could be sold to other players for a profit? Oh wait, that's exactly what Ubisoft did, and it failed. But okay, imagine they made in-game cosmetics that their player base actually gave a crap about. All these games would have this new design element to them, and even in the best case scenario, the play-to-earn would have to cohesively live side by side with the playing for fun design elements. And in my opinion, the human mind just isn't prepared for that right now. Everything in life is about making money. People have a hard time not turning their hobbies into a paycheck. That's why a lot of YouTubers start their channel. I personally don't have any plans to make YouTube a full-time job, but if I was being paid enough to sustain me and my family, I would drop my corporate job in a heartbeat. I think the same could be said for gamers. If there is a potential to earn money while playing video games, they would have a hard time not focusing on the parts that make them money. It's just human nature. This gets into the discussion of intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation, and I don't want to get into a huge philosophical discussion on it, but if we take games that reward players with the intrinsic value of fun and replace that with the extrinsic value of money, we are fundamentally shifting the way we are thinking of video games. It's no longer a game, now it's a job. But most importantly, I hope you found the video interesting or at least enjoyed it. Leave a like if you liked it and subscribe to my channel for more casual analysis. I appreciate you listening and I can't wait to see what we talk about next.